Over the past month, BRICS has made several groundbreaking moves that are reshaping the global landscape. From an unexpected surge in membership applications to the launch of new financial systems aimed at challenging Western dominance, BRICS is signaling a new era in international relations. In August 2024, BRICS announced a wave of new initiatives and expansion plans that could challenge Western dominance in the global economy and international governance. Over 40 countries from Africa to Asia to South America have shown interest in joining BRICS, indicating a major shift towards a multipolar world order. This video will break down the latest moves by BRICS, from launching a new payments platform to expanding its membership and transforming its economic strategies. We'll explore what these changes mean for global power dynamics and how BRICS is positioning itself as a formidable player on the world stage. Why the world wants to join BRICS. The interest in joining BRICS has reached new heights, with countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Malaysia, Turkey, and Ethiopia openly expressing their desire to become members. Why are so many countries lining up to join? The answer lies in the growing perception that the current global economic system is rigged in favor of the West, primarily the United States and Europe. Many countries feel constrained by the policies of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which often come with stringent conditions that some view as undermining their sovereignty. By joining BRICS, these nations hope to diversify their economic partnerships, reduce their dependency on the US dollar, and gain a stronger voice on the global stage. Additionally, the existing BRICS countries have positioned themselves as advocates for the global South, emphasizing development, equity, and an inclusive global economic order. This wave of interest also underscores a shift in global power dynamics. Countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran, traditionally seen as rivals, are finding common ground under the BRICS umbrella. Turkey, a NATO member, is exploring new alignments, reflecting a growing disenchantment with traditional Western alliances, challenging the dollar's dominance. At the heart of BRICS' financial strategy is the BRICS Bridge, a new payment platform designed to reduce reliance on the US dollar for international trade. The idea is to enable transactions in local currencies, thereby bypassing the traditional SWIFT network, which has been under the control of Western financial systems for decades. This is not just a financial tool, it is a geopolitical weapon aimed at countering Western sanctions and economic coercion. Russia and Iran have already begun integrating their national payment systems, SPFS and CPM, allowing financial transactions in rubles and rials instead of dollars. This move is particularly significant given the severe economic sanctions both nations face from the West. For them, the BRICS Bridge is more than just an economic convenience. It's a lifeline that offers an alternative pathway to growth and resilience. A challenge to Western financial power. Since its inception, the new development bank has approved over $33 billion in projects, making it a formidable alternative to Western financial institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. Unlike these institutions, the NDB focuses primarily on funding infrastructure and development projects without the stringent conditions often imposed by Western lenders. This makes it an attractive option for developing countries looking for a more equitable financial partner. The NDB's growing influence cannot be understated, as it continues to fund critical infrastructure in member countries, ranging from renewable energy projects in South Africa to digital infrastructure in India. It is carving out a niche as a viable alternative to Western-dominated financial institutions. However, the NDB's ability to scale up and compete with giants like the World Bank depends on the continued support and financial contributions from its members, including the new entrants. BRICS takes control of global oil and gas markets. The addition of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran has dramatically increased BRICS' share of global oil production, catapulting it to control over 43% of global oil output. This new dynamic is poised to challenge the existing energy market, especially the petrodollar system, where oil transactions are predominantly conducted in US dollars. Saudi Arabia, a leading oil exporter, has historically tied its oil sales to the US dollar, reinforcing the currency's global dominance. However, recent moves within BRICS suggest that this could change. By pricing oil in other currencies or even a new BRICS currency, these nations could weaken the petrodollar system and create a more diversified global currency landscape. The inclusion of major oil producers also gives BRICS substantial leverage over energy prices, potentially allowing it to exert influence similar to or even greater than OPEC. BRICS's strategic control of critical resources. Beyond oil, BRICS now controls about 72% of the world's rare earth production, which are essential components in everything from smartphones to missile systems. With China and Russia leading in the extraction and processing of these materials, BRICS countries have a strategic advantage in this sector. The group's new members, Saudi Arabia and Iran, add to this leverage with significant reserves of other critical minerals. Control over these resources could allow BRICS to influence global supply chains, especially for high-tech industries and military hardware. For example, China, which dominates the rare earth market, has already used export restrictions to gain leverage in trade disputes. With more countries joining BRICS, the group's ability to coordinate such strategies could increase, potentially reshaping global trade patterns and technology development. BRICS as a counterweight to the G7. BRICS is positioning itself as a counterbalance to the G7, a group traditionally dominated by Western powers. Unlike the G7, which consists of some of the world's most developed economies, BRICS represents a diverse mix of emerging markets and developing countries. This diversity is both a strength and a challenge. On one hand, it allows BRICS to present itself as a voice for the global South, advocating for a more equitable world order. On the other hand, the divergent interests and political systems of its members could create internal friction. For instance, while China and Russia are eager to challenge the West, countries like India and Brazil may prefer a more balanced approach. The role of China and Russia. China and Russia are the driving forces behind BRICS' recent push for expansion and financial independence. Both countries see BRICS as a platform to counter Western influence and promote a multipolar world order. China, the largest economy in the group, has been particularly active in pushing for the inclusion of more members and promoting alternative financial systems. Russia, facing severe sanctions from the West, sees BRICS as a critical component of its strategy to diversify its economic partnerships and build resilience against Western pressure. The recent integration of payment systems between Russia and Iran is a case in point. This part will analyze how China and Russia are steering the BRICS agenda, their motivations, and the impact of their leadership on the group's future. Turkey's surprising move. Turkey's interest in joining BRICS is one of the most surprising developments in 2024. As a NATO member and EU candidate, Turkey has long been aligned with the West. However, recent tensions with the EU and NATO over so-called human rights issues have prompted Turkey to explore new partnerships. Turkey has grown tired of the European Union's false promises and hypocrisies. And now, by joining BRICS, Turkey could gain access to new markets, reduce its reliance on Western allies, and enhance its geopolitical influence. However, this move is not without risks. Aligning with BRICS could strain its relationships with NATO and the EU, potentially complicating its foreign policy. A new alignment in Southeast Asia. Countries like Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam have shown growing interest in joining BRICS, signaling a potential shift in Southeast Asia's alignment. These nations are looking for new economic opportunities and a platform to assert their interests on the global stage. For Southeast Asia, aligning with BRICS offers a way to diversify economic relations and reduce dependency on traditional Western partners. However, this shift could also pose challenges to ASEAN's cohesion as member states pursue different foreign policy goals. The push for de-dollarization. BRICS' push for de-dollarization is one of the group's most ambitious and contentious strategies. The US dollar has been the world's dominant reserve currency for decades, a status reinforced by its use in global oil transactions, international trade, and financial markets. But BRICS nations, especially Russia and China, are challenging this dominance by promoting the use of local currencies and creating alternative payment systems like the BRICS Bridge. Can BRICS maintain unity? As BRICS expands, maintaining unity within the bloc will become increasingly challenging. The group's diversity is both its strength and its Achilles heel. While the inclusion of new members brings in fresh perspectives and resources, it also introduces new complexities. Countries like India, which maintains strong ties with the US, may have different strategic priorities compared to China and Russia, which are more focused on challenging Western influence. Internal conflicts could arise over trade policies, political alignments, and security issues. For instance, Brazil under President Lula da Silva has shown a preference for diplomatic balance, avoiding overly confrontational stances towards the West. The challenge for BRICS will be to navigate these differences and present a united front in its dealings with the rest of the world. A new Cold War or cooperation? The rapid expansion and increasing assertiveness of BRICS have not gone unnoticed in the West. The United States, the European Union, and their allies are closely monitoring these developments. The rise of BRICS presents a significant challenge to the existing global order that has been dominated by Western powers since the end of World War II. The Western response is mixed. On one hand, there are concerns that the expansion of BRICS could lead to a new Cold War-style standoff, with countries aligning themselves along new geopolitical lines. The US, for example, has strengthened its alliances in the Asia-Pacific through mechanisms like the Quad and AUKUS, which is an alliance between Australia, the UK, and the US. These moves are seen as efforts to counterbalance China's growing influence within BRICS. On the other hand, there are voices in the West advocating for a more cooperative approach. Some European countries, for example, see opportunities for engagement with individual BRICS members, particularly in areas like climate change, trade, and sustainable development. The European Union is attempting to negotiate trade deals with BRICS countries such as Brazil and India, recognizing that engagement could be more productive than confrontation. The next battlefield for influence. In addition to financial and political initiatives, BRICS is placing significant emphasis on technology and innovation as a means of gaining a strategic edge. The member countries are investing heavily in fields such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, cybersecurity, and space exploration. China, in particular, has been a leader in this area, becoming a global powerhouse in 5G technology, electric vehicles, and high-speed rail. India, too, is making strides in digital technology and has a burgeoning tech industry that rivals Silicon Valley in certain sectors. The collective investment in technology by BRICS members positions the bloc as a formidable player in the tech race, challenging Western dominance in these fields. What's next for BRICS? Looking to the future, BRICS faces both tremendous opportunities and significant challenges. The group's ability to shape the global order will depend on several factors, including its capacity to maintain unity, expand its influence, and effectively implement its ambitious goals. The expansion of BRICS to include new members like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and potentially Turkey, Malaysia, and others will bring in new perspectives and resources, but will also introduce new complexities. There is a risk that internal divisions, differing priorities, and external pressures could undermine BRICS' effectiveness. However, the desire for a multipolar world order and the benefits of economic cooperation provide strong incentives for member countries to work together. If BRICS can navigate these challenges successfully, it could emerge as a dominant force in global governance, driving reforms in international institutions, promoting alternative financial systems, and reshaping the geopolitical landscape. Alternatively, if internal divisions prove insurmountable or if Western counter-strategies effectively neutralize its initiatives, BRICS might struggle to maintain its momentum. The future of BRICS will largely depend on its ability to adapt, innovate, and build stronger diplomatic and economic ties both within the bloc and with other global actors.